Okay, I think today we are going to continue with the reading passage. Before we, continue from the fourth, I think, paragraph, just we want to revise you with the previous lesson. Who wants to read the paragraph here? Ahmed Horani,
Yes,
read it.
before reading, winning money as a prize could bring the winner problem. Do you agree or disagree? Give reasons. Make a list of problems you think might be mentioned in the article below. Then scan the
Good,
article and see if it mentions the same problems.
good. Thank you very much. You realize that here, if you win money as a prize, whether it is, a blessing or a problem. Now we discuss some examples here. We have examples about, people who won money and, money was, a problem for him. Look at the first paragraph. I think also we ask you questions about, the whole paragraph, about the title, paragraphs, etc. Listen, I think we listen it. I think we listen it. Okay,
The
who to
first
read?
three paragraphs we did,
Yes.
and the whole
Read
essay we did.
the please read the first paragraph. There is a great, deal of truth.
There is a great deal of truth in the saying, a fool and his money are soon parted. For some people, winning millions is the answer to their problems, but the reality is more like a nightmare for others. The money can strain relationships with family, friends, and neighbors, and can even eventually end in bankruptcy. It's often very hard for a winner to handle the pressure and all those millions.
Good, thank you very much. You realize that here the first paragraph is talking about, if someone, for example, won a prize, a money prize, sometimes it will be what? A disaster for him. Because, money maybe what? Damage the relationships between people, friends, neighbors, etc. And eventually, he will find himself what? Broken. I think we ask you questions. Now let's move to the
Yes,
next
you did
paragraph.
for the first three paragraphs.
Yes,
Can I read the second paragraph?
yes, yes, yeah, Nuruddin. Read the second paragraph about, the winners.
Most prize winners are not used to having money and making financial decisions. They are vulnerable and become easy prey to people who want to take advantage of them. Winners may lose large sums on investments they know nothing about, or they might go in or they might go in with a partner who may don't know
Good.
how to run business.
Okay. Good. Thank you very much. So the second paragraph is talking about, the winners, especially the ones who do not know how to use the money. They do not have, experience or, couldn't, make financial decisions, and they are easy to be cheated from others. They also lose the, a large amount of money in, let us say, investments, because they do not know how to deal with these investments. They, surely they will lose their money. Okay, thank you. Now let's move to the third paragraph. Who can read the third paragraph? Anwar.
Can I
Can I?
read?
Yes, Anwar. William.
Okay.
This is the first example of, the winners who, let us say the money was what? A problem for him. Read.
William Budd Post won 16.2 million. I wish it never happened. It was totally a nightmare, says Post. He tried to help his family, but things didn't work out. A brother was arrested for trying to kill him, hoping to inherit part of the money. Post went to a car business and a restaurant with his children, but the two ventures were failure. He eventually went broke, and now he lives on $450 a month and food stamps.
Good, thank you very much. This is an example about, the winners who, you know, tried to, let us say, use the money wisely, but, you know, he failed. A lot of people tried to what? To steal him, like his brother, tried to kill him, to inherit him, tried to what? To work in, you know, business, but he failed. And, you know, at the end, or in the end, he went broke. Now he lives on 450 a month. Okay, so this is about, you know, the third. Now let's move to the fourth paragraph.
Can I read?
Just we want to listen, and
Then you read.
then you will read. Okay.
Okay.
This time will be about another one whose name is, you know, Carol, Michael Carroll. Just 1 minute to share the audio, then we will listen. After that, we will ask you questions. Okay. Listen.
For many people, sudden money can cause more than financial disaster. The most notorious case of poor use of prize money in recent times is that of Michael Carroll, who won £9.7 million, $17.1 million, at the age of 20. Michael spent almost his entire fortune in 18 months on 4 homes, a holiday villa in Spain, 2 convertible BMWs, and 2 Mercedes-Benz cars, several quad bikes, and a stake in a football team. Sometimes money can make people insane, but that isn't the case with Michael Carroll. He was a nuisance before, and decided to continue being a nuisance. Michael has been in constant trouble with the law and has paid thousands of dollars in fines for vandalism. Reports say that he is nearly broke.
Okay. Now look at the first question. Who can read? Who can read the question?
Can I?
Adnan?
How much did Michael Carroll win? 9.7 million pounds, which is $17.1 million.
Good. $17.1 million. So he won $17 million. Okay. Now what about the second question?
Can I
Can I
read?
read?
Yes, Diya. Read Diya.
Okay. How did Michael spend his fortune? He spent it on 4 homes, a holiday villa in Spain,
It's
2
in a bad,
convertibles.
you know, in a bad way. He didn't, you know, spend his money wisely. Good, thank you. He spent, you know, his entire fortune, in 18 months. Good. In different ways. Let me choose Hamza. Hamza, are you here?
Yes, teacher, I'm here.
Read the question, please.
How much Michael did pay in vandalism?
Good. How much did he pay in fines for, you know, his vandalisms?
He paid millions.
A lot of money, thousands of dollars. Good, thank you. Who can read the question? Khalid Bilal, are you here? Ali Ghidan. Omar Bassam, where are you?
Can I?
Omar Bassam.
Yes, mister.
Yes, read the question, please.
علي شوف طيب. Okay. Does Michael still have some? Does Michael still have this money?
What do you think? No, he doesn't, because, you know, he lost all of his money. No. Now, what is the main idea of this paragraph? Talks about, you know, the people
Can
who
I?
got a lot of money and, you know, spent them in a bad way. Okay. Who wants to
Can I
read?
read?
Yeah, Adnan. Yes, Adnan.
Okay. For many people, sudden money can cause more than financial disaster. The most notorious case of poor use of prize money in recent times is that of Michael Carroll, who won £9.7 million, $70.1 million, at the age of 20. Michael spent almost his entire fortune in 18 months on 4 homes, a holiday villa in Spain, 2 convertible BMWs, and 2 Mercedes-Benz cars, several quad bikes, and a stake in a football team. Sometimes money can make people insane, but that isn't the case with Michael Carroll. He was a nuisance before and decided to continue being a nuisance. Michael has been in constant trouble with the law and has paid thousands of dollars in fines for vandalism. Reports say that he is nearly broke.
Thank you very much. Now, this is what the most notorious. What does it mean, notorious in English?
Bad,
Popular.
Most popular, but what? In a
bad
bad way.
popularity.
Yes, bad, popularity. Thank you very much. Bad popularity. The most notorious case of poor use of prize money in recent times is that, Michael Carroll. You realize how much money, did he win? 17 million. He spent all his, all his, entire money in 18 months. He bought, let us say, cars, bikes, and, a stake in a football team. He bought, stocks in a football team. In other words, he participated in a football team. Stake means what? A limit in a football team. But also he did a lot of things in a bad way. He was what? A nuisance. Nuisance means, a source of annoying.
A problem.
Yes.
An annoyance, yeah.
Yes. Okay, thank you very much. Now let's move to the third one. Here we are going to listen about someone, he's different from, Michael and Bud. Here we are going to listen about Bob Bradley. The story will be different from the previous. You will realize that, money is a blessing for him. Just listen. If there is no audio, tell me.
There is no audio.
What?
There is no audio. We can't hear.
There's no audio.
Okay.
1 minute. 1 minute, please. You have to share the audio all the time. Yes, now there is audio.
But not everyone is like Michael and Bud. Bob Bradley, an 83-year-old great-grandfather, won $6.17 million in May 2006. Besides giving a huge amount to children's charities, Mr. Bradley has spent his fortune helping to make the dreams of his family and friends come true. He has rejected flashy cars, expensive vacations, and a move to a luxury mansion in favor of handing out his jackpot to others. He said, "I haven't kept any money for myself. I can just give my family all they ever wanted. I've had my life more or less, so this win is for their benefit."
Okay, you realize that this story is different from the previous stories about, Michael and Bob. You realize that, he used the money in a, let us say, in a good way. And, he got a lot of benefits for using his wealthy. Here, Bradley or Bobby Bradley won $17 million, but he didn't use the money for himself, but, he tried to help his family and friends. How old is he? How old is he?
83 years old.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
He is 83 years old. How much did he win? And when?
Can I answer?
Yes.
$6.17 million.
Good. And in May. Now, the next question, Asaf. Read the question, Asaf.
I can't see, Mr.
Here, you can see now.
What did Mr. Bob do with his fortune?
Good. What did he do with
Mr.
his
Bradley
fortune?
has spent his fortune helping to make the dream of his
Very
family
good,
and
thank
friends
you.
come true.
He, spent his money, helping his family and friends. Good. Now, what about the next question? Okay, I read.
Can I?
Zain, are you here, Zain?
Yes, sir, I'm here, sir.
Read, please, the question.
Do I read the first one?
Here. Look at your screen.
Oh, yeah. Has Bradley spent his money in buying expensive cars?
Yes, has he spent, his money in buying expensive cars?
No, he has rejected flashy cars.
Good. He didn't, spend his money in buying, expensive cars or, houses. You realize he rejected what? Rejected everything. He has rejected the flashy cars, expensive, vacation, and he rejected to move to a luxury mansion. Mansion here means what?
A big house.
House. Yes, a big house. Good. Now, who can read the next question? What did he say?
Can I?
What did he say? Yazan? Abdullah, yalla Abdullah.
Okay.
Abdullah, read the question.
What did Mr. Bradley say? Yeah. Mr. Bradley say that.
I haven't kept any money for myself.
For myself. He don't leave any money for himself.
Good. He said that he hadn't kept any money for himself. Good. Thank you very much. You realize the main idea is talking about what? An example for what? A blessing for money. Okay. Who can read it?
Can I?
Read, Adnan.
Which one? Okay.
This one.
But not everyone is like Michael and Bud. Bob Bradley, an 83-year-old great-grandfather, was $6.17 million in May 2006. Besides giving a huge amount to children's charities, Mr. Bradley has spent his fortune helping to make the dreams of his family and friends come true. He has rejected flashy cars, expensive vacations, and a move to a luxury mansion in favor of handing out his jackpot to others. He said, "I haven't kept any money for myself. I can't just give my family all they ever wanted. I've had my life, more or less. So this one is for their benefit."
Good, thank you very much. Okay, so this is the conclusion, or the who can read?
Okay.
1 minute just to listen. Okay. Listen it, please. If there is no, tell me.
Okay.
Good. Who can read?
There is no sound. We didn't hear anything.
Okay, listen again. Listen again, please. Listen.
So, if you ever win a big prize, seek an advisory team to help you make important financial decisions, and a good psychiatrist to help you keep your sanity.
Good. Okay, who can read?
Can I read?
Can I?
Yes. Yes, Anwar.
Okay. So if you ever win a big prize, seek an advisory team to help you make important financial decisions, and a good psychiatrist to help you keep your sanity.
Psychiatrist. Good. To help you keep your sanity. Good. So if you ever win a big prize, you have to ask what? Professional people to give you what? Advices and financial decisions, or it is good to see psychiatrist here, a doctor, a doctor in mental problems to help you keep your sanity. Okay, now let's move to the vocabulary. I think we did them yesterday. Who can read the first one?
Can
I?
Yes. Yes. And Noordin. Bankruptcy.
Bankruptcy,
Read it.
legal status of having no money.
Good. The
Inherit.
second. Yazan. Are you here, Yazan? Muhammad Abdul Rahim. Ali Shurman.
Yes, Mr.
Yes, Ali. Read.
Vulnerable. Easily harmed.
Yes, easily harmed. Good. Next. Who can read it? Ali Hidan. Ali, are you here? Ubada. Dia.
Yes.
Yes, Mr. أنا عبادة.
Ubada, yeah, read about, the third one. Read pray.
Pray.
Means what?
Easily be deceived or harmed.
Prey means, someone who is easily be cheated or harmed or deceived. Got the next? Ahmed Horani.
Yes, Mr. Sums.
Sums means what? Amounts. Amounts, good. The next? Who can read? Yes, Anwar.
Can I?
Anwar.
Okay. Advisory team.
Group of
It
people.
means a group that gives advices.
Good. Adnan.
Okay.
Psychiatrist. Yes. A doctor trained
in the treatment of mental illness.
Good. The next. Where is Hamza?
Sanity.
Sorry, one minute. Sanity, ability to think.
I can't see. Ability to think in a normal way.
Good. The last one.
Can I read?
Yes. Inherit.
Inherit. Yeah.
Read it.
Receive property from someone who has died.
Good. Thank you. Now let's move to the questions. Look at your books on page 27. Page 27, after reading, underline words and expressions in the reading that refer to money. I think it is easy to do. Here, look at, the words. Winning million, bankruptcy. These words related to what? To money. Financial decisions, investments, went broke, spent his fortune, fine, etc. So these are, the words related to money. Now look at the questions. In your own words, write how. Yes.
Okay. In your own words, write how the different prize winners handle their fortunes. One, but
Good.
post.
Here we have to write how the different prize winners handle their fortunes. The first one, but post. Read about them.
Okay.
Post
tried
to help
his family. Complete?
Yes, complete. His brother tried to kill him.
He invested money in businesses, but they failed.
Good. So this is, a brief idea about the first story about, bad post. Number two, can read about Michael. Let me choose Dia, read about Michael.
Okay. Michael Carroll.
Yes.
Carroll spent his fortune in 18 months. He bought things like a Mercedes and a villa in Spain. He was in trouble with the law and paid fines.
Thank you very much. The last one, which is, who is different from the previous people. Bob Bradley, what did he do? Asaf, read Asaf about Bob Bradley.
Bradley gave huge amounts of money to charity. He didn't buy things for himself. He gave money to make the dream of his family and friends come true.
Good, thank you. Okay. Quickly write them or have a screenshot and, write them later.
1 second.
Yes.
I'll take a picture.
Okay.
Now
move. Send them in the group, yeah. And
Inshallah. I'll send them now.
okay. Let's move to the last point here, the discussion. Read the article again. Make notes about how each person spent and lost his money. Think about how you might help them protect their money. Make notes in the chart. Okay. Now, what happened to Bud Post? How did he lose his money? Read. Who can read?
Can I?
Can I read?
Yes. Let me choose. Yes, Nordin. Bud Post.
Read.
Yeah, Nordin. He tried to help his family.
He tried to help his family, but things don't work out. He invested money in different businesses, but he failed.
Good. Now, if you want to advise him, what would you say to him? Here we have just
Try
an
to work with
example.
an advisory team and someone who has done investments before.
Good. Ask for financial advice. Try to be partner with his brother, with ask professional people, etc. Good. Now, what happened to Michael Carroll? How did he lose his prize money? Who can read? Yes,
Michael Carroll.
Yes.
Carroll spent his fortune in 18 months. He bought things like a Mercedes and a villa in Spain. He was in trouble with the law.
Good. If you want to, let us say, provide him an advice, yes, you have to save some money, ask
Seek a psychiatrist. He went insane.
Yes, good.
Advisory team.
Now, what about the last one? How did he, let us say, lost his prize money? Who can read? Anwar?
Can I?
Anwar.
Okay. Bob Bradley, he gave money to charity. He didn't buy anything for himself. He didn't buy things for himself. He made the dreams of his family and friends come true.
Good. Now, if you want to advise him, you would tell him that you should divide, the
He should
money
keep some money for himself.
Yes, and you have to keep your some money for for yourself, not to forget yourself, etc. Okay.
So I have a question.
Yes. Have a screenshot.
The things we wrote the exact same things in the previous question. Can we just copy them or like put an arrow?
Yes.
Okay.
No need. Here.
Okay. 1 second.
Okay, Adnan.
I took a picture of this one. I need a picture of the next one. I want to take a picture of the next one.
Okay.
Okay, 1 second. Okay, I took a picture.
1 minute.